Hello everyone, what's up? KeyQuest here. Mr. Cool over here, thinking he's better than us, just because he's wearing his fancy MTXs. Well, I mean, I guess you could consider it better. I don't. I think that it's just shinier, and I like how it looks, so yeah, screw him. How's everyone doing? Yeah, so this is the next day. I think I'm going to continue making the slightly longer videos. It's basically like 2 videos in one. I don't know how you guys feel about the format. I think I personally like the original one, like a 10-minute or 10-minute, 15 basically shorter. But I think the extra time is kind of nice to try to move things along, but at the same time I'm kind of arguing with myself about, like, oh, you don't need to move along that much faster, it doesn't matter. As long as people are liking it. I'm like, oh, well. But I don't know if there's enough, because it's a game that's not popular. And I worry about that at the same time, but don't worry about that. 2 sides to my own brain. Constantly listen to it. I guess I am very central when it comes to things, so I listen to like literally every side of the story. So sometimes my own brain, I make up the other side of the story, even though I don't need to. It's like, well, here's the positives of this, and here's the negatives of this, and generally speaking, I try to go with the one that has the most positives. So like right now, making longer videos has a lot more positives in that, because I wanted to get this done before I move on to another game, because I want people thinking that I've abandoned it just because I may start something else. There's also, I don't know how much longer, this isn't going to take, I don't think, too much longer, but there's also, whatchamacallit, Cyberpunk coming up, and I did buy the game, and I do plan on playing that and recording it and putting it for everyone to view. Yeah. I plan on, maybe if I take he over baby faces joke, I plan on making a, what will be perceived as a normal male with maybe a slightly enhanced penis for making up for my own. No. That's a bad joke. But and I regret it, but I can't take it back, and I'm not gonna regret it. No. I'm my own cringe. Let's see. Other things to... I really need to stop clicking. I don't click. It's funny, because I realize I do click, but when I'm not recording, I do not click. And it's something I picked up from recording that just kind of miraculously came into place. Miraculously. I speak English good. And, I don't know. There's something I notice I do, and I don't usually do it in real life, so it's really weird kind of hearing it, and it's like, why am I doing that? You sit there and just question yourself, why are you doing something that you don't normally do? Why did you pick up a habit that you don't have anywhere outside of what you're outside of this? It's just like, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. Alright, so here was the benefit of getting those fireflies early, is I don't have to run back to that cave and get them. Normally you do. We don't, because I already did it. You guys knew that, because you saw me do it. Anyways, grouping side quests. Grouping quests in general is a beneficial thing to do in games and helps increase efficiency. Unless you actually care about the story, in which case, do things in order. Otherwise things are gonna get mixed up here and there, and you're gonna get storyline dialogue information out of sequence. Man, this game. Still another month or 2 until we get the next expansion. I feel it's a bit long, and I know they did this on purpose because of Cyberpunk moving back. Man, Cyberpunk really messed some things up. You know, it's funny because you'd think that they don't have a lot of crossovers. But they noticed when BFA was coming out, World of Warcraft, that they had lost, because usually there's a curve, and they've been releasing this since 2013. So this curve has been pretty significant, steady, like ever since they've done leagues. It's gone up at the beginning of the league and slowly declined. Well, they released a thing about 2 weeks before BFA, and that would be fine. I'm speaking more quickly, as though I have taken some. Why am I going that way? I don't need to go that way. But I'm speaking more quickly, as though I've gotten a little bit of a sugar rush, but I haven't. So I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna try to now slow down as I beat these guys up with the bus, as it is in Japanese. Actually, I think that's more directly translated to kick their ass. I think it depends actually on the way you say it. Like, if, you know, like, you're like, Yamero, bus. It'd be more like, you know, fucking stop it, I'm gonna kick your ass. Whereas if you did something like, just the bus, like, I'm gonna beat you up. They have those kind of, usually in English we have more contextual differences, but in Japanese they have vocal and contextual differences. Most of the time the vocal will take over, I think, of the context, but I'm not sure. Whereas in English it's almost purely, we have a different word for every different thing. They also do that in Chinese, I believe, because in Chinese you have uma, and then you have uma. I can't say with the two of them different, right? But one of them means mom and one means horse. In Japanese, they also use uma for that could be useful. They also use uma for horse in Japanese, but they have okasan, which is formal for mom. They also have haha, which means mom. That's right, you're laughing at your mom every time you say mom. Like, mom, ha 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 ha. Double meanings between English and Japanese. They entertain me. Alright, level 2. Going to beat the giant spider boss. Yay! We're gonna take all the UBs. I know I've talked about YouTubers the past couple times a little bit. And that's just because they're kind of popular. Okay, more than kind of. And they are in my feeds because I subscribe to them. But I was really attached to, I think most English-speaking people are attached to Gura. And I like Gura and I like Korone. Korone, I think, is the bigger is the bigger when it comes to like Japan, whereas Gura, I think, is the largest VTuber overall. I think that was a big I don't know, kind of a big push for her in that way. Anyways, where was I again? I feel like I was going off in different directions constantly. I don't know. Anyways, the point is they're entertaining, and I like Korone because some things that she does is kind of feels like something like I am. Or if nothing else, is very admirable. Like, she went ahead and you know, normally if your mic goes bad, you will kind of go and be like, oh, sorry, I can't stream tonight. Well, instead, Corona went ahead and ran back to her parents' house, and it was like 3 a.m. at night. I know, back to the parents, of course. But I mean, I think that this is probably somewhere she's been probably her whole life, so they're probably used to it. But you know, and then she ran back and actually, you know, said she's going to do it, and she went back and tried to get a mic. She tried out everything. She bought a new computer, and you know, eventually she got through with it. And it's just like, it's something you don't see a lot today, which is why it sticks out to me the most. A lot of people nowadays, you know, especially after she had already gotten the okay, like it's okay from her work bosses that, you know, it's fine. She still went on and did it. And it's just like one of those things like, wow, okay, yeah. This is someone who most definitely tries their hardest to fulfill their promises, and will go out of their way to do it, especially if they make a promise. And throughout my life, there was a lot of people who did not do that, who they would just kind of make a promise and then they would go and just blow it off. And it made things really hard for me sometimes as a kid. And so it's just like, when you see someone else who was like, no, if I made a promise, I'm going to do it. At least to the very best of their abilities. And you know, and she seemed to have at least tried and gone as far as she could. If she didn't make it, you know, she didn't make it, I wouldn't hold it against her and I wouldn't be mad. She tried really hard. Whereas, like, there's so many people that are just like, I'll look at it if I have time and I'll try, and they just kind of drop it. And it's just something that I find very unfortunate. And makes me upset. Because I feel like, you know, the kind of person who tries like that deserves success, and someone who doesn't, sometimes they do get success, and it just kind of feels like they cheat the system, you know? Whereas Kurone, I think, has kind of earned everything she's gotten to her. I mean, I do get a little bit, like, jealous because the Hololive people have success when they come back on, but, you know, they have a massive undertaking, and they have a dedicated, like, quality and a built-up thing over time, so it's not like you can't treat each individual like a single entity. You gotta treat it like, okay, this is a continuation of the Hololive brand with each one, which I think is something they're trying to do, and on purpose. And it's something I think that comes from the Japanese idol system. Although in the idol system in Japan, there's less of a brand kind of built up behind it, I think, and more of the person built up, because they usually do start off quite small. But I think that these ones, because of how social networking goes, they've managed to build up a brand and a guarantee of this kind of style. Although some people, you know, after their debut, they don't stay as popular as they were, you know, when they first came out, but it's still there in the initial one, and a lot of them stick. So, I mean, sometimes it's like, you know, I wish I was like that. These people also, you know, they all, like, worked and auditioned for it, and they got the parts, basically, so, you know, they worked for it. And so I don't begrudge them for things. With our lots of people who work for it and just get nowhere. So I guess it's one of those things that's like kind of luck, kind of skill, and kind of work ethic, you know? It's like each of them actually seem to make their own thumbnails. I wonder what software they use. Something they briefly talked about, or one of them talked about. They're like, oh yeah, you know, I use the same software as Ina, and Ina uses the same software as, I forget her name at the moment. I think it's Nene? No. One of the other people who's talented at drawing in the Hololive group. Anyways, they use the same one, and I think it's Subaru? Can't remember her name. Or I can't remember her Japanese name, but she, like, jokes around about it being the gorilla, and she's a really loud voice. Excuse me. says that we use the same programming, but yet mine turned out so crap and no one doesn't. And, you know, obviously it's part of it is because the other two are artistically inclined, whereas Subaru is probably not as artistically inclined, but inclined in other things. Like, she seemed to do the architecture for Subagelion very good, whereas she did and the other ones did like drawing stuff, you know. I don't know, they're all very, I mean, it's hard to tell because you can't meet them in real life, right? Because you can't be like, oh yes, these are the sweetest people, or, you know, really kind of good people. I assume they are, at least to some degree. Who knows if they're being true to themselves. That's just my little bit of skepticism of them, because I am skeptical of most people and things, which is, you know, just because I can't meet them, you know, things with them in real life. So I have that, and that came also from being kind of hurt, you know. I'm not like actually hurt like physical, but more like, you know, betrayed in certain ways. Yeah, if you're wondering why I'm doing more moving than I usually do, it's because this boss does chaos damage. So, I mean, I've killed this boss a lot faster before. But usually it was with builds that are more like, okay, I'm gonna kill you the next 3 seconds, or you're gonna kill me. And this one was, it was actually really easy. I was moving around just because I didn't want to take the chaos damage, even though I don't really have to worry about it too much. Okay. Oh, and now we're on to Act 7. Let's see. Oh man. You know what? I'm gonna get into Act 7, and then I'm gonna cut off the video there. Well, I just was blabbing on. Maybe today's a blabby day. Maybe I should just... I'm gonna pick up the next video right after this, so just continue on. Let's put in my points first, though, before we move, because we're at a safe zone. No, we're going down this way. That's right. Last time we got execution. That was nice. Now we go this way. We're gonna pick up these, like I said. No, we're gonna pick up this one. And... yeah, that should be fine for now. Maybe I'll go from here up into here, and then go this way. Yeah. Pick up that here. I don't know. We got quite a few. We don't have a lot of points left, but we do have some. Alright, guys. Remember to please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.